open up the grammar micro-teaching unit, one of the things that I want you to pay particular attention to is this top portion up here. And I know it probably seems redundant to try to read this out loud to you, but I want you to note the information up here as you prepare this unit and be sure that you adhere to all of the guidelines that I've given up here. It says that you're going to choose one of the topics below and work into a 5-day grammar unit. And I generally let people use a week-long unit. You can go from Monday to Friday would be sufficient in order to be able to set this unit up. But I want you to notice that I want you to use the lesson plan template that I have included as part of this assignment. And if you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see, and this should be familiar to some of you, the lesson plan format where you insert your name, the date that the lesson's taught. You can do day 1. You can actually put dates if you want to, which grade level you've chosen, the subject, the name of the unit, and what class period. There is going to be a series of columns. There are going to be a series of columns here that I want you to complete, and in each one of the columns here I put that you'll need the objectives, procedures, materials, and then some type of assessment. In each one of the objectives I put that it must be behaviorally stated. Most of you should have learned how to write behavioral objectives, where you'll put the student will be able to, or the student will, etc. Please put the DOK level that is being addressed in each one of the objectives, and have a high degree of specificity, meaning that I want it to actually be something that is achievable for that particular class period and that grade level. Be sure as you're writing out these objectives that you don't put an entire list of objectives in one day. Like, you can't try to logically assume that you're going to have 5 or 6 objectives in one class period. But I also don't like to see just one objective, for the simple fact that you can always at least accomplish more than one objective in a class period, and you need some kind of backup in case you rush through this information really fast. In addition to the DOK, up here at the top it's going to say that you need to put the appropriate MDE Language Arts Framework objective for the grade level that you've chosen. You can go to the website that's listed here and see actually what the MDE framework objective is, but behind each one of the objectives that you list, you need to have the DOK and the MDE framework objective. The procedures is just the script that you're going to use for that particular day to cover those individual objectives that you've listed. The material is a list of the materials that you'll need, and then how you'll assess what it is that has been done during that class period. It says here, specify how items 2 through 5 on the formative assessment will be addressed in this lesson. How did you meet individual needs of students? How did you take the knowledge of students' needs, interest, and experience? Did you integrate other subject areas whenever you were trying to develop this lesson? And did you make any type of multicultural connections? And we've mentioned before, and you've read the chapter on multiculturalism, how this is really big in the field of English. So you're going to want to integrate this somewhere in the unit, and it could be that you've used an example of a poem from some type of multicultural writer. You've used an excerpt from a book or something to address the information that you're going to cover in your grammar unit. The lesson plan format that is laid out for you here, you'll have 5 of these that you will fill out for each individual day that you're attempting to try to complete within this lesson. Now, it says up here, you're not required to have a pretest or a summative exam as part of this unit, but you're allowed to do so if you choose, because most of the time people have some type of little preliminary test at the beginning to see what students know, and then of course there's normally a summative assessment at the end to show what it is that they've learned. I put that the test cannot be an entire class period's worth of work, because I have had students before that like to put the summative exam on day 1 and the pretest on day 1 and the summative exam at the end, and say that that's 2 days worth of lesson plans. And you would never in your teaching career hopefully say that a test is all that you're going to do in one class period, because people are going to finish a test quickly, and then some people are going to take the entire period. So you need to have a plan worked out where something fills that time. The primary focus is to organize a specific unit on a topic at a grade level that you've chosen. Your choices are listed for you here, and I've gotten listed here grades 7 through 12. You can pick out any one of these that you want to use to develop your unit. You get to choose what you're most comfortable with. You get to kind of take liberty with this, and see what it is that you can do to develop this unit. But I put here, I would like for these plans to be as detailed as possible. In your 5-day unit, be sure to include one grouping lesson. I want it identified, and you can highlight it so that I can see that this thing is a grouping lesson. You can make the grouping random, ability level, cooperative, however it is that you want to do it. But somewhere in this unit, I want to see that you've grouped students together, and I'd also like to see that you've utilized technology. Now, it's going to be very easy to do this because we live in a very technological environment, so everything that we do is going to involve some form of technology, but I want you to be able to point those things out to me. You can underline them, highlight them, boldface them in the unit so that I can see it and be sure that it has been used. Whenever you submit this to me, you're going to upload it into my courses. I would like for you, as part of the template, as part of the file that you save, have a cover sheet with your name, grade level, and the purpose of your lesson. Give me a brief description of the class that you'll use to teach this lesson, and most of you are in classrooms right now, so you can choose one of the classes that you have, or you can choose one of the classes of the teachers who you've done your field experience, the classes that you've sat in on. If you want to use one of those for this, that's fine. You'll include the 5 days worth of lesson plans with any worksheets or handouts that you plan to use. You can give me links to those. You can copy and paste them into a Word document if you'd like. However it is that you want me to see what it is that you're going to use, that's fine. But include this as it is a unit that you would submit to someone to be evaluated, to see whether or not it includes all of the components that are necessary in order to get this skill across to your students. I put here, save all of this as one Word file. Since you're using the lesson plan templates below, you can use landscape as your page layout. You can go through and just delete this out right here and put the cover sheet with your grade level, name, and purpose on it. The next page can be the brief description of the class, and then you can actually just copy and paste these lesson plans. You'll see I have a couple of them listed for you here. There's a blank template that you can just type your material in. Everything will need to be saved as one Word file. It's very important that it is saved as one file so that you can upload it to my courses, because you will only be able to upload one time. Now, if you have any questions about any of this, or run into any type of problems, or want me to kind of help you out as you progress through this lesson plan, please feel free to email me, but be sure that you email me at david.lowry@jcjc.edu. The email in my courses does not come directly to my personal email, and sometimes it may be several days before I check it in there, and I would hate for you to be waiting for me to respond and might not be able to get back to you as soon as possible.